But a little windy. Let's turn it over to Sean Quinn. Now, Sean, that wind's not going to die down until about tomorrow?
Yeah, very early in the morning, we're expecting the winds to back off. They may still blow for portions inland, but you can see on the map right here, this is a really easy way to see how the winds are kicked up. We have a storm system that kind of ran past us. You can see some much-needed snowfall, not much along the Sierras. I had a friend tell me about 4 inches at June Mountain. But really, the energy runs like this. So by the time it gets to the California coast, it really just socks out the energy, dries it out, if you will. So we're left with just the northerly winds, and that's again why we have the Santa Barbara and Ventura counties until 2 a.m., just maybe about 8 more hours or so. That wind advisory out of the north, especially strong along the south coast, because that area we always face right into the ocean, so right down the back sides of those mountains in the San Ynez range, we can get those winds pretty strong. Now, luckily, it's a low-end wind event. That time I said it right, and you can see right there again across the region where the winds are, so they're not really that strong. It's kind of on the bottom end of what we would consider an advisory. So good news is the gusts are a little bit stronger in some areas, but they're really not that bad. It could be a lot stronger out there, and I always know in this studio in particular in Santa Barbara, when you hear the walls creaking and the lights swaying, you definitely know there's some strong wind out there. The net effect, though, is the temperature. Look at the change between, say, San Ynez and Santa Barbara. That's because the winds go over the mountains, and as they do, they start to basically warm up as they get squished by the weight of the atmosphere as they head towards the Pacific Ocean. You can see the big curve in the atmosphere right there. The late season storm track is still very active. Bad news for the middle of the country because a lot of energy is running in there, and this is tornado season, definitely in full swing. But that arch right there, as it drops down on top of us, it just brings us more of the dry air from the north and some wind every so often, and we're going to start warming things up as we head into early next week. Now, we'll go ahead and put the map into motion. Some cool, dry air has rushed in, and that means our overnight lows might be kind of blanket weather for sure. As you can see, a little cool in some areas, almost getting into the 30s, which is definitely not normal for this time of year for our overnight lows. But overall, the daytimes tomorrow, expecting to be pretty nice out there, about normal, if not still just slightly below. Today, Santa Barbara did top out at 77, and that again is because of the wind direction. Everybody else was more or less in the 60s. And there's your west swell in the channel. We have a lot of wind energy out there, and it looks like some building energy will start to kick in by tomorrow afternoon. Water, I can personally attest, has gone south on us like you have no idea. It is bottom water all the way from Antarctica, and I'll be willing to bet my right arm on that. It was cold the other day, and that's just because of all the winds we've been having lately. And speaking of warming things up, look at that forecast right there. We'll go ahead and put some 80s on the maps. As soon as we get to about Monday and Tuesday, everybody's going to start to jump a little bit. So good news is we do start to warm things up, and that is really nice, as you can see across there. And I'm noticing that our forecast maps did not update right there. I'm thinking there must be something wrong with a little in the computer, but really the pattern, though, is overall what we are expecting, as you can see right there across the board. And I'm going to go back and either put a quarter in the machine or kick it real hard to get it to update, because I do know tomorrow is Sunday.
Okay. Yes, tomorrow is Sunday. So
I should have noticed that earlier.
it's okay. You noticed it now.
It's a gremlin.
Okay. Thanks for that, Sean. A troop of junior Girl Scouts cleaned up East Beach today in Santa Barbara. These 75 girls walked along the beach, picked up trash, and waited to find out just how much they collected.